I want to talk about the time that our inflatable bounce house business broke into a brand new market, got in front of hundreds of people, got promoted on Facebook, got sent out an email blast, and even got our logo at a well-known event, and all it cost us was gas money. No ad spend, no agency, no strategy session, simply because we continued to show up in the right rooms and took advantage of the opportunity as soon as it came our way. In my last few videos, I've talked about how a lot of the business strategy and the business advice that's out there isn't written for markets like yours. In this video, I want to get a little bit more specific because the most powerful marketing tool that you can take advantage as a small town business is not an algorithm. It's not a platform. And it doesn't require a massive budget. It's community presence. And a lot of small town business owners that I know tend to write it off completely because they think that they're not good at it or they underestimate the power that comes with it. And I want to fix both of those today. And just to be clear, when I talk about community presence, I'm not talking about being an extrovert. I'm not talking about showing up to rooms and working them, schmoozing people, handing out your business cards, which to be honest, most people don't look at again afterwards. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about showing up in an authentic way repeatedly in your community so that when people need a service, they think of you. When somebody at a birthday party is complaining about how they really need to get landscaping done at their house, I want the person that they're talking to recommend your name. Not because you ran some impressive ad campaign, but because you have already showed up repeatedly in your community and people like you and people are wanting to recommend your name because they know that you do a quality service. In small town markets, that type of name recognition buys you more than any ad budget could ever get you. I want to talk about one of the best marketing moves that I think we ever made with All About Fun Rentals, our inflatable bounce house company. We had joined a local networking group, which that alone, huge advocate for. If you are not in a networking group and you have the ability to, definitely join one. But in our networking group, I had made a lot of friendships and a lot of connections. And one specifically was with a local nonprofit called FOCP. Their food program that delivers food to kids discreetly through our local school systems. They were doing a fundraising event with our local schools, and part of it was who could raise the most money. And so we came up with the idea that we would donate our large packages to the top 3 winners of each category. And in exchange, they would put us as a sponsor for the event that was equivalent to the amount of money that those packages would have cost. But all it cost us was gas and time on the calendar. So not only did we help our community, but it barely cost us anything, and it got us all the perks as if we had donated thousands of dollars. Our name got sent to every school in the area, and then we also got to work with 3 unique schools for the first time, so they got to experience our service. And what we brought to our area is something that isn't super popular yet either, so it helped get the word out that we offered a service like ours. And again, I repeat, all it cost us was gas money. That is community presence working exactly the way that it's supposed to. Now, and I understand that opportunities like that are not always going to be something that is readily available, but I also want to talk about the compound of building trust in your area and just being involved with your community and being seen. I started my entrepreneur journey being a realtor. I was in it for a couple of years and I had some set mortgage lenders and title companies that I worked with repeatedly. We refinanced our house to buy our company, and it was the title worker and our mortgage lender who was doing our refinance that got me into networking. To begin with, they both recommended that I come and check out their networking groups that they were a part of. So through those invitations, I joined, and the connections that I have made being a part of those networking groups since is just insane. But it was the connections that I had made as a realtor that helped me. I also even had clients from previous transactions with my real estate business who ended up hiring me to do birthday parties at their house. And also, a lot of realtors tend to sit on a lot of boards and event planning committees, and that's how I got my foot into a lot of those local events as well. But then when we started our Christmas light installation company, that same title worker came back and she's like, we just bought a new build. We would love for you to come put up Christmas lights. And through there, not only did we get that job, but then we also got the owner of the house as well. All of those were built from connections and relationships that I had built prior to starting my bounce house rental company. And that's what I'm talking about, how those types of jobs and those things can compound. Okay, so I know what some of you are probably thinking because I literally had the same exact thought where, okay, cool, great, yes, networking group sounds amazing, but Kaylee, I hate talking to strangers. And guess what? I do too. Which is funny because I'm actually a president of a networking group. Let me let you in on a little secret. Especially when you go to a networking group, every single person that's sitting there watching you talk about your business, they've been in the exact same place that you have. And that is one of the things that I love most about small towns is that people are always looking to build up other people. There is just a strength in community in our small towns, especially in networking groups where you don't have a direct competitor. People are constantly looking how they can build and how they can intertwine all the businesses together. That is one of the beauties of networking groups. So first off, just know that if you stumble, if you're awkward, if you're weird, every single person sitting there has had that day. It's part of it. You have to be awkward before you can get any better at it. And that's it. Basically, exposure therapy, practice over time, it will get more comfortable and you will get better at it. If you're looking at something to help you get even faster, even better at it, I cannot recommend Vanessa Van Edwards enough. She has a book, Captivate, which is amazing. If you don't want to read those, she has, just YouTube her. All of her videos are just fantastic. She is a self-proclaimed recovering awkward person, and she actually studies the science behind the way that people act and why they do what they do, which is phenomenal. She tells you where to stand when you're at a networking event so that you have the best chance of actually having a full conversation. She goes through how you can have those icebreaker conversations without them being awkward and weird. Seriously, I cannot recommend her enough. But other than that, the only thing that I can tell you is honestly exposure therapy. It's going to be awkward and it's going to be weird. And the thing is that we've all been there. The odds of somebody actually coming into this naturally being an extrovert who strives at this is just next to none. It's not happening. So as long as you just go in there and realize that everyone is feeling just as awkward as you are, everyone is just as uncomfortable too, it kind of helps really lighten it up because you realize that everyone there is also just looking for somebody to talk to and somebody to network with. That's why we're going to these events. Still, if that's something that you're just not quite ready to be at, what I'd also recommend is just looking at your community and finding different ways that you can get involved. You don't specifically have to go and pitch your business, especially in a small town. People will buy from you just because they know you and they like you and they trust you. You yourself, you are the product. So go and coach your kids' little league baseball team or join a bowling league. Little things like that where you're getting out in front of people and people get to know how awesome and how trustworthy you are. They're going to want to pitch your services and your business for you. So here's what I want you to actually do. Not someday, not next week. I want you to try doing this today. Find one group and show up to it. Look for local networking groups. Look for different hobby groups that you can join if that's what you feel more inclined to do. It doesn't have to be anything specific for business, but I need you to find something that gets you out and involved with your local community in a way that you are able to show up authentically. If you're ready for it, join your local chamber and go to a business after hours or one of their marketing events. Otherwise, look around and see what else is in your area. You'd be surprised at how many different groups that you can join out there. That's the goal, is just for you to get out and involved with your community. And I know somebody is watching this and just thinking about all the different reasons why this will not work for them, that they're too introverted, they don't have enough time, their community is too small, and I get it. There is always going to be a reason why this won't work if that's what you're looking for. But I've also seen this work, and that's coming from somebody who lives in a town of 400 people. It is not always convenient, and it is definitely not always easy. But my biggest philosophy in life is to choose your hard. And the thing is that my hard is choosing to be a business owner. So even though it's not comfortable that I have to get dressed up and get ready to go to a networking event every single week, it's worth it because in the end, it allows me the freedom to be a small business owner. And through that, the little things that are uncomfortable or not ideal are worth the sacrifices. And I have seen it work for people who genuinely were awkward and uncomfortable, completely turn around within a year and become the person that everyone knew the second that they walked into a networking group. It's all about how much effort and how much work you want to put into it. But I'm telling you that there are returns to be made. And if you're in a small town area, this is the exact first step that you should be doing once you start your business. People love to support people they know. Next video, I will be diving even deeper into how to build an online presence, so make sure that you check that video out. Also, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Not only does it help support me, but it also notifies you as soon as I release my next video every Tuesday. And if you want to go even deeper in the strategies that I talk about, make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter that comes out every Tuesday morning. You can find the link for that in the description below. I'll see you next Tuesday, and we will build something even better together, because this is not your dad's business.